Then she really started to cry, and the next thing I knew, I was kissing her all over, anywhere. Her eyes, her nose, her forehead, her eyebrows and all, her ears, her whole face except her mouth and all. She sort of wouldn't let me get to her mouth. Anyway, it was the closest we ever got to necking. After a while, she got up and went in and put on this red and white sweater she had. That knocked me out, and we went to a Goodman movie. I asked her on the way if Mr. Kudai, that was the Voos hand's name, and ever tried to get wise with her. She was pretty young, but she had this terrific figure, and I wouldn't put it past the coated bastard. She said not though. I never did find out what the hell was the matter. Some girls you practically never found out what's the matter. I don't want you to get the idea she was a Goodman Ice Claire or something, just because we never necked her horse around much. She wasn't. I held hands with her all the time, for instance. That doesn't sound like much, I realize, but she was terrific to hold hands with. Most girls, if you hold hands with them, their Goodman hand dies on you, or else they think they have to keep moving their hand all the time, as if they were afraid they were you or something. Jane was different. We'd get into a Goodman movie or something, and right away we'd start holding hands, and we wouldn't quit till the movie was over, and without changing the position or making a big deal out of it. You never even worried with Jane whether your hand was sweaty or not. All you knew was you were happy. You really were. One other thing I just thought of. One time in this movie, Jane did something that just about knocked me out. The newsreel was on or something, and all of a sudden I felt a hand on the back of my neck, and it was Jane's. It was a funny thing to do. I mean, she was quite young and all, and most girls, if you see them putting their hand on the back of somebody's neck, they're around 25 or 30, and usually they're doing it to their husband or their little kid. I do it to my kid sister Fluffy once in a while, for instance. But if a girl's quite young and all, she does it, it's so pretty it just about kills you. Anyway, that's what I was thinking about while I sat in that vomit-looking chair in the lobby, all Jane. Every time I got to the part about her with Strangler in the damn Ed Banks car, it almost drove me crazy. I knew she wouldn't let him go to first base with her, but it drove me crazy anyway. I don't even like to talk about it if you want to know the truth. There was hardly anybody in the lobby anymore. Even all the worried-looking blondes weren't around anymore, and all of a sudden I felt like getting the hell out of the place. It was too depressing, and I wasn't tired or anything, so I went up to my room and put on my coat. I also took a look out the window to see if all the turbines were still in action, but the lights and all were out now. I went down in the elevator again and got a cab and told the driver to take me down to Ernest. Ernest is a nightclub on Greenwich Village that my brother D.B. used to go to quite frequently before he went out to Hollywood and prostituted himself. He used to take me with him once in a while. Ernest, a big fat colored guy that plays the piano. He's a terrific snob and he won't hardly even talk to you unless you're a big shoot or a celebrity or something. But he can really play the piano. He's so good, he's almost corny, in fact. I don't exactly know what I mean by that, but I mean it. I certainly like to hear him play, but sometimes you feel like turning his Goodman piano over. I think it's because sometimes when he plays, he sounds like the kind of guy that wouldn't take to you unless you're a big shoot.